Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing, this April the 1st, 2025 noon update from just north of downtown Detroit inside the mobile compound with a cloudy but peaks the sunshine and a seasonably cool 43 degrees. Bell notification, comment down below, like the channel and share to get that trust, truth, and education and information you need from the most reputable source and the channel that's changing the cryptocurrency narrative. And on this April Fool's Day, we have a nice little bounce across the board. The bigger bounces have been in the altcoins. And we'll take a look at a couple of these real quick. And you can see we're coming up to the 200-day moving average in the daily time frame. If you look at it there, you can see the daily wick. We're up about 3.25% today. In the Bitcoin price, you can see the Bitcoin is still getting ever so closer to that. Jesus, we're gonna have to put this on focus. Ever so closely to that golden bearish cross where the 50 is going to get underneath the 200. We're having a nice little rally here today, and that was to be expected. And we were talking about yesterday how, and the day before, how a potential rally could come up to the 200-day moving average, potentially still as high as the 89,000 to 90,000, because we didn't hit that on the last run up. We only got to about 88,846, but the 200-day is a major area of resistance. And if we go look at this in a shorter time frame, you can see even a shorter time frame than that, because this has all happened very quickly today. We'll go to the 30-minute, even less apparently from that. So the Bitcoin was lagging today a little bit. We'll go to the 5-minute. You can see there, because this is all happening recently, you can see where it's getting rejected right at about the 200-day moving average. You see we're having our first bit of resistance in red candles on this pump, because that 200 overhead resistance is major resistance. So we're going to see a brief consolidation here. And then if the buyers can sustain it and we can get another rally in volume, we could make a run up to that 87,807 and 14 cents, which is the 50. And then you notice the overhead 100-day moving average is lined up with that horizontal resistance right around 90,000. So our first area, and we're getting slight rejection now that we're going to watch out the rest of today with the Bitcoin price, is that 200-day moving average. If we look at Bitcoin dominance, earlier today, Bitcoin dominance was actually falling, and now it's starting to recover. But earlier today, we did have dominance start to fall, which allowed some of these altcoins to really move to the upside. So we're going to pay close attention to that today and look at it tonight. XLM is bouncing off of that 25.5 cents, something that we've been talking about that it could do before it breaks down below and ends up coming to that 18 cents. It got up on our last little pump up to 30 cents, was about what we were expecting, potentially as high as 31. Now on the way back up on this rally, it would be the same thing as the Bitcoin. The overhead 200 day is going to be a major area of resistance. And then the secondary major resistance is the overhead 50. But we're going to watch and see probably today it's going to try to come up to that 28 cents and touch, just like the Bitcoin prices, that overhead 200-day moving average. So we're going to be looking at that. But this is all still within the patterns that we've been looking at. It's just getting a bounce on a support level right there. Again, just as it's got bounced a few times, we would expect it to bounce again. Maybe this time it won't be as good or as forceful, because we're going to end up coming down to that 18 cents. The XRP is the same thing. We were talking about, we were on the neckline yesterday again. And you can see the last 4 times, neckline, wick bounce, neckline, wick bounce, neckline, candle body bounce. This time, neckline, candle bodies again. And we're trying to attempt a short bounce, a small bounce here, reactionary off of that, which we would expect off of the neckline, where a lot of buyers are lined up every time it comes near that major trading area. And this is the head and shoulders that we're in. And if we zoom in closer and go into the hour time frame, you can see we're trying to bounce again, like we were talking about yesterday and the day before as it was coming down, that it's going to try to bounce on here, but eventually we're going to break down, come to that 200-day moving average in the daily time frame. Then we could have another little small, still don't want to buy you, another little small rally, just like we got there in purple. And then I believe eventually we're going to break down and we're going to hit that targeted move off that head and shoulders down there at $1.29. But right now we're trying to bounce off of this. Excuse me. If we look at where we're at, we're fastly approaching D-Day of the bearish cross that we've been forecasting for a couple of months now and been watching it play through and trade out. And that bearish cross is going to happen. And on this, any kind of bounce right now that we're in, as high as I think we would get would be up here to a descending 100-day moving average and a fastly falling 50-day moving average right up there at about $2.30 to $2.37. If this bounce could try to overachieve, that would be the highest I'd be looking at, and then there'd be a quick rejection there. So that's what we're looking at with the XRP price. Nothing has changed as far as the overall structure of what we're looking at. We did have some of these altcoins earlier looking like they were having bigger moves. Maybe some of them gave back some of their gains. If we look at AMP, is one of them that's still just cannot get the legs and the buyers, but it's sitting there at a major area where we're attempting to break out of a 3.5 month falling channel that's watched 100% of that recent pump in November be given back. So eventually I do think there's going to be a short-term pump. We're going to continue watching it and following it. I have to get back into work. We'll go into our nightly update this evening with the long-form video. Comment down below. Become members of Jabroni Killer to help build this growing community to change the narrative in crypto, to trust, truth, and education. Peace and love. The Rex Eyebrow J.